scribes and the Pharisees should get credit for honesty. After all, in the case of the woman caught in adultery, they could have made believe they were virtuous and started throwing stones. Instead, when Jesus said, "Let anyone among you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone," they went away one by one, beginning with the elders. As we get older, we have more experience of our weakness, so perhaps the oldest realized soonest that they were not sinless. Their honesty and courage in admitting they were little different from the woman gave courage to their juniors to be as honest. So, 3 cheers for the scribes and Pharisees. Jesus, on the other hand, is something of a disappointment. There are many things he could have done, but did not do. Is doodling in the dirt what we want him to do when a woman's life is in danger? Why didn't he try to rescue her? How did the poor woman feel when he entrusted her fate to a mob of religious fanatics? Then, after the mob melted away, where was Jesus the teacher? After all, the woman had been caught in serious sin. Was it right to just say, "Run along now, and, by the way, try not to do it again"? Faced with the sin of the woman and the self-righteous, violent inclinations of the scribes and Pharisees, Jesus seems rather too nonchalant. The English Jesuit priest-poet Gerard Manley Hopkins wrote a sonnet that begins, "My own heart let me have more pity on. Let me live to my sad self hereafter kind." Hopkins apparently treated his own heart much as the scribes and Pharisees treated the woman, rigorous, demanding, and unforgiving. At least some of the time, we all do that. I am my own strictest judge. I look on my sins and refuse to temper my judgment with mercy. Much of my reflection on my life as a Christian consists of enumerating my faults and then either feeling miserable about them or feeling miserable that I don't feel miserable about them. But if we concentrate solely upon our sins or the sins of others, we are in danger of becoming so self-absorbed that we will be unable to notice, let alone accept, the loving, forgiving embrace of God. We must leave room for comfort to put down roots. In Lent, it's easy to become obsessed with my sinfulness. After all, it is a season of penitential reflection. I'm supposed to engage in at least some ascetic practice. The season lends itself to concentrating upon my weakness. Perhaps that is why, as we near the end of Lent, we take a look at Jesus refusing to get excited about sin. He does not say it is all right to sin. When the crowd pushes the woman forward, he does not deny her sinfulness. His attitude seems to be, "So, she's a sinner. Who isn't? If any of you aren't, then do what you wish with her." Of course, there was not one of them who was not a sinner. There is not one of us who is not a sinner. That is not, however, the most important thing about us. Sin is serious, but the most important thing in the world is the love of God that forgives our sins. The scribes and Pharisees had forgotten that. So, Jesus says that we have to see sin in the proper perspective. He refused to get excited about the woman's sin. Instead, he accepted her sinfulness, and that of the scribes and Pharisees, as a normal part of life. He told her to avoid it, but did not let her sin become the sole description of her existence. Does that mean that we need not avoid sin? No. I am a child of God. Therefore, there is a certain kind of life that I should live if I am to be true to who I really am. Like the scribes and Pharisees, I should be brave and honest enough to admit that I am a sinner. Then, like the woman going on her way after meeting Jesus, I should get on with my life as a beloved child, a forgiven child of God.